Hello, I'm Daniel, and welcome to the Emunah Project and our continuing series of on the prohibition of idolatry, forbidden practices. One is witchcraft. Witchcraft is a broad definition. The reason why we're doing something on witchcraft is over the last several decades, especially since the creation of the religion Wicca by Gerald Gardner in the 50s. As much as people say it's an old religion, it was actually invented in the 50s by Gerald Gardner in Britain. Many people who have been dissatisfied by so-called organized religion have found their way toward Wicca and other forms of witchcraft. It's important to know that Wicca is not the only form of witchcraft. There are many, many forms. In my background, Italian, the word for witchcraft is stregaria, and Italian witchcraft is called stregaria. There are lots of forms, but we're going to look at witchcraft as a general category. And again, I'm making gross generalizations here. There are many, many nuances. It's a deep subject. As far as the Torah is concerned, as far as Jews and Noahides are concerned, we're supposed to stay away. It's a distraction from Hashem, regardless of what form of witchcraft is being practiced. And I'll get into them in a moment between practice and religion. It's a distraction from God. The person practicing the craft, whether it's working a spell or a potion or whatever they're doing, has the illusion that they have control over things, over the forces of nature, the forces in the world. We'll get to talk about forces in a second. So for Jews, whether you're born Jewish, whether you're a convert, Baalei Tshuva, and Noahides, whatever you come from, perhaps you come from an occult witchcraft background, you have to give it up in order to be a Noahide. With respect to practice, some argue, and I got to tell you, I have a certain degree of sympathy for this argument. They're saying witchcraft is not a religion; it's a practice, it's a methodology, it's a avoda in the sense of service. It's something you do. It's not something that you believe. They make the comparison, lahavdil. You should pardon the comparison, that witchcraft is no more a religion than lahavdil davening. Praying isn't a religion. Kavana is not a religion. It's a practice. It's a methodology. And this argument goes that witchcraft isn't its own really religion. It's the practice of the craft. The other argument, of course, the one that I side with, is who cares? Whatever you're doing, whether it's a practice or whether it's actually a religion, is irrelevant to the Jew and to the Noahide. It's something that's forbidden to us. We can't do it. You can play with semantics all you want, but when the bottom line is we can't do spells, we can't do potions, we can't get involved with witchcraft, we can't, certainly not black magic. A sorceress who does that is called a machashefa. That word machashefa is mistranslated as witch. When the Bible talks about a machashefa, you shall not suffer a witch to live, that's a wrong translation. The machashefa is a sorcerer. A whole different. We're not talking about young ladies sitting around and making incantations in modern times. A machashefa was a powerful sorcerer. That's not what we're dealing with today. But the thing is, even modern day white witchcraft is the thin edge of the wedge. You get involved with this and this sort of magic. Some people spell magic with a CK at the end to distinguish it from card tricks. But there are two main points of view. There are many more, but these are two main points of view. The Rambam says there's no such thing as magic. There's science and there's God. Anything that looks like magic is actually some form of illusion, or I don't know, maybe science we don't understand it. It's a trick. It's an illusion. There's no such thing as real magic. There's science and there's miracles from God. For example, when Moses cast down the staff and it turned into a snake, that was a miracle. When Pharaoh's magicians did the same thing, it was an illusion. It was a trick. That's one point of view. There's no such thing as magic, science, and miracles from God. Other point of view, and I believe it's the Ramban, who was about 100 years later. He says it's possible that when the Creator created the world, when Hashem, the Holy One, created the world, it is possible that in this world he put in all sorts of forces and energies that we can't see. For example, sitting here right now, there are things in the air, cell phone signals, telephone signals, satellite signals. I can't, unless you have the right device, you can't access this stuff. According to, I believe it's the Ramban, he says it is possible that a person, either through birth or through training, can access these forces and manipulate them to a desired conclusion. For lack of a better word, we call this magic. If it's possible, and I don't know if it's possible or not, I really don't. If it's possible, we're supposed to stay away from it. It is forbidden to us. It's a distraction from God. So no matter how you slice it, it comes out, stay away. So here we have Av and Yidoni before. We have witchcraft. And the witchcraft is, they'll say there's white witches, there's gray witches, there's black witches. No matter how you slice it, stay away. It's a distraction from God. Any kind of flirtation with this sort of stuff, whether it's another religion or practices of idolaters, people who believe in false gods, and make no mistake, many witches, many people who are involved with witchcraft also believe in other gods. They believe, rather than Christians believe in a trinity, they believe in a duality, a male god and a female god. There are other people rely on old Greek gods, old Celtic gods. We're not supposed to adopt their practices. There's a specific prohibition against casting spells and taking on the adoption of other people's religions, even their customs and trades. And it doesn't matter whether Wicca itself was created in the 50s or you're going to something much older, Strigaria, which, as far as I'm concerned, it's been around for thousands of years. In China, there's witchcraft has been going on for thousands of years. Stay away from it. It's not for us. We're going to be doing a few more videos with respect to the prohibition of idolatry and the surrounding the surrounding ideas and philosophies and positions on it. Until next time, I hope you keep coming back. I hope people are learning. I hope these things are of interest and value to you. And until then, on behalf of the Emunah Project, I'm Daniel, and thank you too much.